Welcome back, everyone. Week 7 in the books. What the?
Welcome in.
What? We got a coon pizza.
Hey, yo.
What? Is that acceptable on the podcast?
I think
It's a raccoon pizza.
yeah,
That's a better way to say it.
Fine. Yeah.
What would you call
Yeah.
that, Luke? What would you call that?
Not that.
I'm laughing too hard.
Good start. Good start.
If
If
you're watching this on YouTube and not just listening to it, which I don't know how you just listen to it, but Luke's background screen is a pizza with a raccoon head in the middle of the pizza, and then a baby raccoon on the side. So that is where the phrase came from. I'm not just
Not just throwing that around.
I'm not just throwing around coon pizza.
we need
Slinging
LJ
it.
for that.
Welcome back, everyone. Week 7 in the books. If you've made it this far, then congrats. I know Passwoods is probably still listening, even though he has the hardest season so far. So thank you, Passwoods. We'll have you on soon. But today we're going to talk about kind of normal episode. We're going to talk about the recap from the season or the week. Any trades that happen, transactions, anything like that, and then preview the next week. Quick episode. We always say that, but it's usually not
That's
quick.
Cap. That's so bad.
Sorry, I'll be quick.
And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think 3 out of the 4 of us lost. We went from all
Couldn't
all
imagine.
4 of us in the top 5 to only 2 of us in the top 5, which kind of stinks, but it's how fantasy goes sometimes. And we'll get into it. I think, Gavin, you have sharing screen privileges. We're going to jump into the first matchup. I don't remember what the game of the week was.
It
Was
was.
Was it?
I thought it was
right?
Gavin
No, I don't
versus
think so.
Transphobia. Is that what it was? Or somebody
No,
versus
Gavin didn't
Transphobia?
play.
Oh, you're right. I think it was McClendon versus Transphobia.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
That was the power matchup this week.
And Max prevailed. So
Yes.
Transphobia is no more. That is how that works.
Gavin, you want to share your screen?
Or I think I'll do I'll share it.
Oh,
later
right.
for
Yes.
For this bit, they want to see the ridiculousness going on.
Yes.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Someday I'm going to write a script for this, and it's not
Yeah.
going to be nearly as shitty as it has been. But until
No,
then,
that's what makes
it's
it
going to
good.
be it's going to be me bumbling. All right. Week 7 recap. Here we go. First game of the week. Gavin Gilmurray defeated Jack Phillips in the Battle of the High Council. Came down to Monday night for Andre's teams. Ate up all the checkdowns for Bailey Zappi to carry Gavin to victory. Game 2. Jackson Pasowitz is still going. Sisyphean task to come back from 1-6 after losing Zach Winfield. Zach, in spite of not having Josh Allen or Stephon Diggs. Amazing team building. The opposite of that, Jack Terry somehow finds a way, once again, puts up 70. However, Spencer puts up 6. Unbelievable showing. Jack is the luckiest man alive. Bret Smith takes down Revenge of Bret. He's back. He's no longer be shitty. On the backs of Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones. And Raheem Mostert, who I traded him for nothing. He comes away victorious. Max McClendon defeats Transphobia with an absurd lead carried on the back of wide receiver Austin Eckler. The new acquisition is Colorado. Final game of the week, Team Call Me Prof not allowed to win against Team High Vested. James heard everyone talk about how he lost the trade for John Taylor, but Melvin Gordon and all the Mike Williams were able to carry him to this matchup. That is week 7. What the fuck is this? That's week 7.
The audio seemed kind of buggy.
Probably was.
We need to get some closed captions.
Facts.
I think it's just
That's
wall
the
of
editor
noise.
job. editor job.
Oh my God, more.
No,
I act like
Gavin.
my job is hard. I literally do nothing. But
Put him in the sweatshop.
I slave away.
I feel like
Getting
those
things
two
from the
jokes are a
world.
little bit more racy than the first joke I made.
The sweatshop? Nah, well, yeah.
Well,
That was fine. It just came out
maybe.
of nowhere. I was not ready for that.
Let's just make a
Sweatshop
9/11
is
joke
slaving
and get back
away.
on track.
All right, yeah.
Oh, we have
Um,
waivers tonight, so let's take a look at the waiver priority.
oh, it looks like you have a
Yeah,
waiver,
yeah.
Gavin.
I do have a waiver in, but the first guy with a waiver, me, waiver 9. Second, Jack, waiver 11. Interesting
Wow.
order. Yeah.
Totally did not think of that one before the
Nice.
podcast.
I'm
I
glad
didn't
you got it
notice
in.
that when I was looking at waiver priority earlier. Definitely didn't.
Now you got no more pressure to get it
Yeah,
in.
get it out of the way quickly. I don't have to
Yeah.
go searching.
Yeah, Gavin loves things to do things quickly. All right, first game of the week was Gavin and Jack. Gavin 118, Jack 100. This came down to Monday night, and we just needed Myers. Jack, what was it? Myers outdo by 5 or something? 10?
Yeah. Outscoring by 5. And it was tied after the Myers touchdown. And then Bailey Zappi just became the check down god.
Yeah.
And that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
I actually woke up from a nap to this victory. I was asleep. I went to sleep at 3 that afternoon. Then I woke up at 5:30, and I saw it was 5:30 and it was dark, so I thought it was 5:30 in the morning and went back to sleep. And then I woke up right as Ramondre Stevenson scored a touchdown to put me back ahead. So I was never afraid. I was always in the lead.
Yeah. That's big baller moves right there.
So, are we talking about trades now? Is that the move?
Yes, trade time.
All right, trade time. Are these? Yeah, we went over the LJ one. So this first one, a little bit of insignificance to be honest, just because of how, because of how these are all basically bench guys. At the time, I needed to give up a bench spot, and I didn't want to just drop a guy that belongs on someone's roster. So I was like, hey, let me try to get some value out of him. And so I went for AJ Dillon right before AJ Dillon just got completely phased out of the offense. Then I gave up Brian Robinson, who got 20 carries. He only scored 10 points, so I'm like, I'm not beating myself up over it, but I'm still a little disappointed. Like, man, if I had held on to Robinson one more week, probably could have done something better. Yeah, Dillon is.
Yeah.
I mean, Dillon's just the high upside handcuff at this point. So, who cares?
Yeah, I know that I coming into the season expected, like I expected a lot more from Dillon. But he's just, like you said, he's just become a handcuff at this point, which is surprising to me. But it's Aaron Rodgers handcuff, so it's still worth something. But
I mean,
a lot more.
it's hard to say though, because he got a really bad game script against Washington, in which you kind of expected him to get a little bit better of a game script. And obviously, like, the passing down back is always going to be Aaron Jones for the majority of the time. And they were losing the entire game. So I feel like it's with AJ Dillon, it might just kind of depend on, how the game plays out. So I wouldn't overreact from the 1 week. I mean, his last 3 weeks have been very underwhelming, but hopefully it's not going to get better against Buffalo. Hopefully after Buffalo, things can work out a little bit more for Dillon.
I hope they figure it out. And then as far as Brian Robinson goes, I mean, he's a rookie, and rookies generally get better. But it's kind of like, where else do you go? I mean, you're already getting the max volume. You're not really getting that much receiving work. I guess the only thing that could happen is that he gets more touchdowns and runs more efficiently. And so that's why, like, I don't feel like I'm giving up that much. He is a startable player, but it's just like I would never start him because I don't need him on my team. Then Alec Pierce, the deep threat guy. We'll see how Sam Ellinger goes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. The only thing that could make this like a big deal is if Pierce somehow has a big connection with
Ellinger.
but I don't really expect that.
But we wasted enough time on this trade. This trade was pointless anyway. The real trade.
Olave for Godwin.
Yeah, this happened. Jack and I were playing some Fortnite, and I just see a notification on my phone, and it was Olave for Godwin straight up. And earlier in the day, I was thinking about doing Olave plus someone for Godwin, but I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then so when this came through, it took me about 5 minutes, and I was talking to Jack, and I was like, I have to do this, right? Like, surely it's a good trade for me. After the Thursday night game and this weekend, it looks like Olave played better. Um, but it depends on, when Michael Thomas and Landry comes back. And we'll talk more about Olave in the next draft too, or the next um trade too. But I just was like, I have to get a piece of Godwin. Like he's first of all, he's my boy, and also like he's getting a huge target share. So I don't know. I mean, short term, it looks like Olave has played better, but what do y'all think?
I think
I
we
kind of
were. Oh, you go, Gavin.
no, you got it. I've been talking.
I think we were split in the group chat, right? Because obviously, William traded for Godwin, so I think he leans him a little bit. I lean Godwin. Gavin? What do we got going on?
Sorry,
Nice.
Gavin's leaking on the podcast.
my bread recipe.
I don't know. I think Olave's role goes down slightly when Saints are back to full strength. And Godwin, I think, is just now kind of breaking into stride, kind of shaking the rest off. So I don't know. I like Godwin a little bit.
Gavin or
Yeah,
Jack?
I tend to lean Olave a little more. I think Godwin's going to be more reliable. And if you ask me for a sure player, I would rather have Godwin than Olave. But I like the upside in Olave a lot more. I honestly don't think it's gonna matter a whole lot when those guys like Thomas, if Thomas ever comes back. If Thomas never comes back, then Olave, I think clearly clears Godwin. Or maybe not clear. I think he clears Godwin, in my opinion. But even, you know, Michael Thomas played in week 2 and 3, and Olave still saw 13 targets in those games. So I don't really think that Mike Thomas is going to eat into his role that much. I think he's still going to get around 10 targets a game, maybe more. Um, so it's really tough to tell. And honestly, the Saints offense has looked a little bit better than, I mean, it hasn't looked great, but the Bucks offense has looked awful. I expect that to get better as time goes on, but I tend to lean Olave a little bit.
What you just said, Jack, is kind of why. Here's a little stats for you. I do lean Godwin here. Like I'm a huge Olave fan. I was just talking about maybe trying to trade for him too, but I'm also a really big Godwin guy. And if you look at this nifty little graph from JJ Zacharyson, um, it shows the difference between how a team was last year versus how they were this year. And most of the people are within like a one touchdown per game scored. But then you've got the Bucks down here are scoring almost more than 2 touchdowns per game less than they were last year. And part of that's because of how much they were doing last year. But I think that another part of that is that they are just not succeeding. It's not they're a bad offense, but they're just not being able to score. They can get down the field, but they're not getting touchdowns from it. And when they do get touchdowns, they're all going to Leonard Fournette. So to me, what that says is there's room on this offense for a lot of improvement, and Godwin's already really solid. Like he's coming back from injury, he's getting 12, 15, 12. And if they start scoring more, then he's going to have to start having touchdown upside, which I don't see the Saints offense getting better. And I really only see Olave's role getting smaller, versus Godwin can grow more into a role and probably have. I'm trusting Tom Brady to figure it out because he always has. This might be the year it's over, but I'd be kind of surprised.
Mm-hmm. Well, Olave gets dealt again in the next trade.
Yes.
And this is another Max just must have got happy feet or something and decided to make another trade with LJ for Olave and Kittle to upgrade to AJ Brown. And I didn't notice this until today, but this was after the Thursday night game. And so, AJ Brown was off bye. and Max kept the Chris Olave points from the Thursday night game. So he basically got a free Thursday night game instead of AJ Brown being on bye. So kind of stinks for LJ, and it actually might have cost LJ the week. It ended up costing LJ the week. It might have, just because he didn't get the 17 plus Kittle had like 18. Well, actually, he might have played Kittle. I'm not sure. But yeah, that kind of stinks. But that was really, I mean, well played by Max. And we were kind of talking about this. Luke, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you think of the decision making behind this trade.
I think I'd like to think it's good for both sides. I don't know Max's roster front and back, so I can't really speak off the top of my head to his like depth. But like usually when you make kind of one of these 2-for-1 kind of splash trades, you're really confident in your roster. You're thinking, I have somebody that can make up that depth in my starting lineup, and so we're just going to bolster that. Like I think looking back on it, I think he might now kind of have to be a little reliant on, or maybe Jamal Williams. Right? Does he have Ayuk too? Is that who's his other?
Yeah, he's got
yes.
Yeah, he says Ayuk. And Terry McLaurin. Wow, Max seems deeper than I thought. But like, I think it was a really good trade for LJ. I think what we talked about last week in his rest of season thing was his team is scary thin, you know. And so by making kind of these 2-for-1, I guess downgrades, even though we got great players in Olave and Kittle, I think that's going to be a really good move for him. So I think it's a good trade.
I like it AJ Brown's obviously a great player, but I do think that there's a world where Olave and AJ Brown produce equally, and in that world, obviously LJ got a huge win with this trade. But AJ Brown is just a stud, and he might turn back into his week 1 self any day now. If they actually have to the Eagles keep winning games by way too much and then not trying in garbage time. And if they are playing some more competitive games, then they might have to throw up more to AJ Brown, and that could really unlock him and turn him into the stud that he's been in years past. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I like what obviously I like what LJ did. I think more often than not, Kittle and Olave is going to outscore AJ Brown most of the time. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, most of the time that'll probably happen. So I think, based on what LJ's roster looks like, I think it's a pretty good trade for him. But Max, what I do know about his team is he has Tyler Higbee, who has been a very good and reliable tight end. So I kind of expected him to trade one of his tight ends away. So essentially, especially now that Higbee's coming off a bye, he's trading 1-for-1 with Olave and AJ Brown, which like obviously that's not what the trade is, but to his team's regard, if he knows he's rolling out Higbee every week, he doesn't need Kittle unless he wants to 12 personnel it. He's trading AJ Brown for Olave straight up, which I really like that for Max's team. I think AJ Brown's great. I think he's better than Olave. So I think it benefits both teams, but I like what Max did.
I will have to see what LJ ends up doing when Njoku gets back. If he tries to move one of them. I know there's very few tight ends that are valuable, and it seems like both Kittle and Njoku have some value. So we'll see if LJ makes any moves there. But yeah, good analysis. I agree with everything that was said. I think it helped both teams, and good trade. That's how good trades are supposed to go. So
yeah, I think we're seeing a lot more of that this year in the league, which is something I'm very happy about.
Yeah.
Because in the past, we've only had trades when someone just gets absolutely destroyed.
Please.
And now we have a bunch of really helpful, beneficial trades that just improve everyone's team. And people aren't afraid to
I don't
trade.
know if I like it, man, because now I have to compete every week, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I can't fleece anybody, man. I don't know what this.
Well, well, it's like you don't get any. It doesn't feel like there's any easy matchups in the league.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Like in years past, I remember it was like, okay, I really don't want to play these guys, but or these 3 or 4 guys, but the other 8 or 7 or 8, like
Like
I'm
talk
good
about
playing
it.
with.
Last week, the bottom teams, James beat William.
Yeah, Bret beat out
Jackson
or
still
lost.
lost, and Spencer still lost. But like, it is really it looks to me a very balanced league.
I mean, it's reflected in the standings. There's like 5, 4, and 2, or 4 and 3 teams, and then like 3, 3, and 4 teams. Like, it's anybody's playoffs still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
no
kind of
one's
makes
out
it
of
more
it.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jackson's
definitely.
gonna go on some crazy run, but we've seen it done before.
Dude, I want Jackson to go crazy. I'm rooting for him, man. I think I've already played him my week, so now all I
Yeah.
got to do is just cheer him on. Oh, it's gonna. I'm rooting for him. Yeah, that's gross.
He has to play me again.
Pain.
Week
I thought I was
12 or
gonna get him
something.
again, but I don't. I'm very
William,
disappointed.
bench everybody. Give him a free win. Let him.
Not on my watch.
Not
Give him a
again. Not
chance.
again.
I've
Not
said this
again.
before. Not on my
Nom
watch.
flashbacks.
All right. I think there's a clear game of the week this week. The
Yeah,
top two teams play. So, me, Terry, have
yeah.
the game of the week.
Can someone please put up more than 86 points on Terry?
I'll,
Like, for the love,
It's
man.
Gavin's
we'll
turn.
get to that. We'll get to that when we get there. But
Gavin
first,
did it to me. Now it's his turn to do it to Terry.
yes, exactly.
First matchup on the dock, Wingfield and James. James doesn't have a complete lineup yet, but Wingfield is projected 121. He's getting Allen and Diggs back. Who do you think's going to win this one?
Well, who? He's got Kirk Cousins and Rashad Bateman on the bench who he can sub in, and DK Metcalf. Is Metcalf playing? I know he.
Uh,
Probably not. Probably not.
Well, I mean, it's great that he's even considering playing. Apparently, Metcalf just gets carted off for whatever these days.
yeah. I don't know what that was about. He looked fine.
A bruised patellar tendon or whatever. Oh, that sucks, but this is the completion. This is Wingfield's team finally. Oh, he has to start Boyd. That's kind of gross. And he has to start Hayden Hurst. That's not ideal, but
Is Boyd gross? I mean, did we see what he did last
Dude,
week? Who knows?
Boyd's been kind of hooping, man.
Yeah.
I mean Boyd is a really good receiver, but he has weeks where he puts up 20.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's
he's the
not.
PPR 17 on the year.
I
Yeah.
don't
That's
care.
I mean,
flexible.
and
I
like
That's
don't care about
flexible.
if a
week
good
rankings.
week in fantasy is only 110, I mean, one player getting 30 is a big deal.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. Look at how bad fantasy scoring's been this year.
Yeah.
Just everywhere.
I think if you have
Budget
one of
Gabe
the
Davis?
three, I mean, if you have one of the 3 Bengals wide receivers, you need to be rolling them out every single week.
Hey, if they keep passing like they have been, then
Yeah, which they will.
I love this. Like, I was worried they weren't going to let him loose, but they've decided that Joe Burrows can carry them to a victory, which is what smart teams should do.
Totally hoed me last week, but we'll get whatever.
Yeah. Well,
40 on my head, dude.
I really hope for
Eileen.
James' sake. Oh, sorry. One more thing before we can do our predictions. I really hope for James' sake that Claypool gets traded. So that'll give him a big boost and another player to throw in his lineup. I hope he gets traded
they're
to.
asking for a Christian McCaffrey level package, so I don't think that.
Well, you get. I mean, I don't think that'll happen, but like,
That's the most
you're-
absurd thing I've ever heard. Like,
but you're
Wait,
not
are
gonna
they,
start
is
with
that
like. You're not gonna start if you're Steelers with like, we'll take a 5th rounder. Like, of course, in negotiations, the Steelers will probably start high.
Hey, Jags did it for James Robinson, man.
Yeah. I think we're lagging.
That's funny, but yeah, I think Zach.
Some major spikes.
Is that on my end or is it y'all?
Might be mine. I just switched, so it might be better. Is that better? Hello?
He's just staring very intently. Yeah, go. Lost. Hey,
Hey,
maybe.
there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what
Our
just happened.
our
You back?
Wi-Fi has been ass cheeks today, bro. I was trying Rocket League earlier, and it was just not going well, man.
It doesn't even show which one I'm connected to right now.
I don't know which one I should be connected to.
All right. Anyway, okay. So predictions for this week. I'm gonna go Wingfield.
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 All right, we'll
James
go
rising
Wingfield
the
sweep.
challenge.
If Wingfield can put up 140 without Allen and Diggs, I am
can't
gonna
get over
go
that.
Wingfield every week until he scores less than 100. I'm just gonna do it, just out
Yeah.
of principle. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
All right. Next one out.
Hello.
I'm about to introduce,
Um,
but I realized it's not my job.
No, you go
I
for it, man.
Oh, it's me.
go
All
go
right,
Gavin.
that's
Oh yeah,
heavy
all
as the
you
head.
Gavin.
All right. LJ versus Spencer. Interesting matchup. Not looking. You got the new look LJ, per usual.
We say that every week.
Every week
Yeah.
it's the new look LJ. And then we'll get to see McCaffrey get a full workload for the 49ers. So that's exciting to me. What are we looking at here? What are we? He's flexing
Dude.
Paris Campbell.
Oh, this is such a gross.
Man, I don't
I
like
thought
that.
this was going to be a really good week until I saw those 4 flex players. That is just gross, fellas.
Cooks, Wilson, Campbell, Murray. Latavius Murray is the starter. James Robinson, maybe you can start him.
Maybe, although I would not feel
Maybe.
confident doing that.
It'll be another McCaffrey situation. I don't know. This is just kind of a gross matchup, if I'm being completely honest.
This
It
is
really-
just kind of stinky.
It really hurts Spencer that Keenan Allen won't get his wimp ass on the field.
Well, he's on
It
bye
looks
this
like
week.
he. Oh, he's on bye. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that does
Get
hurt
out there,
Spencer, but
get out there and play.
get out there on bye week, Keenan. What are you doing? Make up for your 5 missed weeks. Ugh, I don't know. I like LJ's first 5 a lot more than Spencer's first 5. So I think that's going to lead me towards LJ in this matchup. I'm a little bit interested / maybe kind of worried to see how the 49ers use Christian McCaffrey. I think there is a world where his fantasy value has decreased pretty significantly now that he's on the 49ers, just because they don't really like to use their running backs in the passing game. The only one they do is freaking Kyle Juszczyk. So that'll be interesting to see. I think you have to adapt to a running back like McCaffrey. You have to find him ways to get him the ball through the air. So hopefully they do that. But that'll be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on that, but I'm going to lean LJ here.
I agree. I lean LJ because I don't think Mark Andrews is going to play. They play on Thursday night, and he hasn't practiced. He has to practice tomorrow, and he was dealing with some injury last week, so I don't really think he's going to play. And if he does play, he's probably not healthy. So I'm going to say LJ.
I'm going to say, Gavin, you go. Explain Spencer.
Right.
No.
All right. I'm going to go with Spencer because I think that if Mark Andrews does play, they're playing against Tampa, and Tampa has been really bad against tight ends. I mean, they gave up a tight end to Tommy fucking Trimble this past week.
The legend himself.
Oh yeah. And I can see the path for Spencer. I think that Rondale Moore is going to be better this week. Why is Tony Pollard projected 13 fantasy? Whatever. But I still do think that a lot of these players are under-projected. Pet Campbell's probably been good. And I think we could get goose eggs from Wilson and Cooks. It could be dangerous. Now, I'm kind of just being a contrarian of going with Spencer here, but I see the world, so I'm picking him.
Nice.
I gun to my head LJ, but this is probably the grossest matchup. I mean, LJ's team looks fine, but it's like the what is it, that Homer Simpson thing where it's like he has like bungee cords on the back of him and it's just gross. I mean, Cooks and Wilson in your flex, like that's I could see where they put up goose eggs and he's put up 80 points. And then Spencer, he's kind of in a similar situation. Mark Andrews might not play.
Campbell's hot.
If I fair. But if Andrews doesn't go, his only real big name on that team is McCaffrey, who looks kind of who knows what the fuck's going on there. So I could see this to be an absolute like 70 to 75 shitter. But
Sorry, continue.
I just think LJ wins a little bit.
Can you click on Pollard really quick? He's predicted 13. That's
I don't
awesome.
understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's dumb.
Is like Zeke
I
with
mean-
an injury or something?
I don't know.
No.
Oh yeah, his leg injury thing. He might be on a pitch count.
True. Yeah, maybe so.
That would maybe explain it. I mean, they're playing the Bears.
I mean, from what we saw last night,
the Bears, yeah.
might have to air it out against the Bears when they score 40 on us. So, no, I'm kidding. That's
Brett and Passowitz. Brett 121 and Najee Germany 109. Jack, why don't you start on this one?
man. Brett can go screw himself. That might heavily go into my prediction here and my want for Jackson to win just because he deserves a win. Aaron Jones got back on track last week. Hasselwood's team doesn't really look that bad, and then Wan'Dale Robinson had a pretty good performance. But what happened to Robinson? Did he get hurt in that game and miss time?
I thought he did, but I think he went out for like. Jackson said he came back and was on the field for a bit, but
Okay. He played 69% of snaps. That's nice.
I mean, going out injured and still playing 69% of snaps. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
It is. Gosh, this is tough for me. I think when it matchup by matchup, I don't know, man. I'm trying to justify a way for Jackson to get this win. I just can't find it. Jacobs has looked really good. That has been a huge bright spot for him. And there's a world where he just goes for 30 points again. And I don't know. I've taken too much time. I'm just gonna pick Jackson. Screw it.
I also lean Jackson just purely for personal reasons. Like it's not even I dislike Bret. I just want the origin story of the 1-6 Jackson Passowitz come back and make the playoffs. I mean this in like the least demeaning way possible. The little engine that could, man. Like let's just let's get chugging, baby. Like that's what I want to see. So I'm picking Jackson just purely for self-satisfaction.
Also, one more thing. I think we might see a big fat goose egg from Drake London, man. He's looked horrible. Brett needs to find a replacement for
That'll be
London.
offset by Kyle Pitts also.
No, Pitts has looked better than London has. London has been
touchdown.
horrible.
London has a 100% catch rate.
Wow.
Yeah, and Pitts had a touchdown called back.
Yeah, I mean,
It's 5 targets.
Mariota, they were losing by 21 in the first quarter, and they still only threw the ball 13 times.
That's insane. That's
so bad.
Inexplicable.
Arthur Smith is a madman.
I have inside sources that Desmond Ridder might be making his first start against Carolina.
Per sources.
So maybe that would definitely help London, I would assume. And everybody on that offense. But anyways, I wanted to add that. London's been horrible.
Gavin, matchup?
I think that since y'all picked Jackson, I can just not feel bad about picking Bret. This is Gus Murder is starting.
You pulled that up really quickly. That's
Thank you. All right, William, what do you think?
I love the pass switch narrative, and I want him to win, but I don't know how that's possible with Brett's good team. I mean, he's got a good team right now. Um, I don't know. I mean, I gotta say Brett, even though I want pass switch to win.
lame. No real belief. Golly.
I'll say pass switch.
That-
Sure, why not?
All right,
Yeah.
me-
Join the wave, baby.
Yeah, let's go. I got Brett on my own. I'm rooting for you, Brett.
FB shitty.
All right, next one. McClendon, Longs. Cousin matchup.
Yes.
The
This could have been
and
game of
he
the week.
has no running back.
Yeah, it's because I just dropped Brees Hall and haven't set my lineup for this week.
Go set it. Go set it.
Okay, fine.
So we can see the.
I'm guessing
You
it'll be
go-
ETN and then
That was
Ah.
pretty quickly.
Michael Carter. I mean, he'd probably
Yeah,
be
no,
the hardest one.
I'm putting him in. I'm putting him in.
Why is Michael
15?
Carter projected 15.
That's insane. That's insane.
No, that's busted.
Nah, bro. Give me Allen Robinson in that flex spot for Hunter Renfro, dude.
Do I rock with it? No, but Renfrew plays New Orleans, and he's the slot guy who eats against New
true.
Orleans.
True. As we just saw Boyd.
Mhm.
I just think it's
Wow.
funny. I think it'd be hilarious if he rolled out A Rob and he put up another great week and Jackson could just
This is a tough one. Max
It is.
isn't at full strength because he didn't have Eckler and he's still projected 122. He's got the Hurts Brown stack now, which is sick.
That's something I didn't realize. That makes me like the trade.
Yeah,
I love
I
stacks.
didn't
Holy
think about that
crap.
I
either.
love stacks.
damn.
He no longer has the Wonder Twins, so look at him go.
Look at this balance. Oh God, there's the. Do you really have to start Hunter Renfro?
Dude, it's him or Robinson because Michael Thomas is out. Yeah,
Gross.
until Michael Thomas. Well, my team
Well,
would have been
Renfro
top
versus,
3 in the
McLaurin.
league until Brees Hall got hurt.
Yeah,
Ugh,
Renfro versus
that-
McLaurin's fair. It is hard. That injuries suck so much. That's the
Yeah,
first.
they do.
That's like the biggest one this year for sure. You hate to see it, but I think your team is still competitive. Thankfully,
Oh,
honestly,
100%.
you the trade Reese getting hurt you, but then it eventually helped you in a different way because they traded for Robinson, which makes Etienne better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
but then it
what
makes Michael
happened
Carter
was-
Soul
worse.
for a soul.
Yeah, it was like it went from like better to it went from like worse, like slightly better, but also worse in a weird way. Because Michael Carter's role
Yeah.
now got worse, and it's not like he was gonna be great. Because Terry was like really trying to like trade for him, and I was like, dude, I just lost like the RB like 7 rest of season and replaced him with like the RB like 25. Like, sure, I guess you could technically roll out Carter, and he's not a terrible play. And this was before James Robinson got hurt, but it's like it's replacing a Ferrari with a BMW. Like he's fine, but he's no Breesy. Like, so I think I might limp into the playoffs as a 6 seed, but man, I thought it might have been the year. Oh, my team was just getting good.
My man Breesy, bro.
I think you're
R.I.P.
selling yourself
Greasy.
short. I don't think your team is
I agree.
considerably worse.
That being said, I do think it's worse than Max's, so I'm picking Max here today.
Fair enough.
So I think here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go with Longs here, and I think the Hurts Brown stack might disappoint, even though the Eagles are coming off. Listen, man, the Eagles joy run.
Hot take.
The Eagles joy run is coming. It's coming to an end soon, and who other
Against
than
the
freaking
Steelers.
who other than the freaking genius and Mike Tomlin to figure out a way to shut down their offense? I think it could be similar to like what we saw in the Dolphins game. I mean, the Dolphins are a considerably better team than the Steelers, especially with Tua and when they're fully healthy. And like they pretty much shut the Dolphins down. For a good majority of that game. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to go against the Eagles. But I don't know. I just weird feeling. So I'm gonna go with Longs.
Tough. Gavin?
I already picked.
Calvin already said Max.
Oh, he said Max. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I guess Luke, you're going with yourself.
I kind of like have to, even though I do think Max will probably win. Just like personal, feel like it'd be a coward move to pick Max against myself.
Okay, so you got Jamar Chase Monday night.
Ooh.
Against
Scroll down.
Cleveland.
Scroll down.
That's the only Monday player.
Dude, oh man. I gotta go with the Jamar Chase Monday night. That's just gonna be lit. So I'm gonna go along with.
He's gonna put up 30 and it's gonna crush Max. It's gonna be so sad. That's just that's gonna happen. Whenever you're playing against a stud like that on Monday night, it's over for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Me versus Jack.
Hey, this is most weeks. This would be game of the week.
Yeah.
This
We
is
both need
I-
to win too.
This is week 2 of the absolute gauntlet that I'm going through right now. In my schedule.
Council members here. That's tough.
Mm-hmm. And then I've got McClendon next week, who looks like maybe the best team in the league right now. So, yeah.
Dude, getting railed.
It's the
My team's
regression.
finally full strength. So we'll get to see for the first time all year a full strength team versus Jack's team, who I think is also full strength.
Besides Juju, who's looked really good.
Yeah, you'd probably start Juju over Myers, so never mind that. It's gonna be a good matchup. I hope Debo and Edwards play. They seem questionable, but I think they'll play. And then I'm gonna take myself just because it's myself.
Benching Montgomery, power move.
I don't know, man. What do y'all think I should do, Edwards or Montgomery?
Dude,
Start
that
Edwards.
Tampa Bay run defense has been stupid this year.
Hey, Foreman.
Edwards in your flex on Thursday night game. You got it.
Listen, bro. Foreman made that run defense look like nothing. So
yeah,
I think you should roll out Gus Edwards.
But it's Montgomery against Dallas. Like that's not better.
Oh yeah, that's not.
That's worse.
Oh yeah, it's kind of gross too.
Don't take advice from me. I'm playing you.
Yeah, that's up to you. But regardless, these are some solid teams. It's pretty much equal, a little bit of an advantage, and then
is Connor like playing?
Dude, there's been 0 report on him, so who knows? I've tried looking at Twitter and everything. I cannot see anything other than a bunch of Benjamin owners saying he should start over Connor when he gets healthy. Hey,
Gibson?
Hate on Gibson all you want. That boy is the RB17, man.
Gibson BPR RB17.
Obviously, like the first 3 weeks, he didn't have, Robinson, but
demanding respect.
Yeah, I think Ron Rivera is finally realizing that Gibson is, he's arguably the most talented player on that offense outside of McLaurin and maybe Robinson, but Gibson has looked better than Robinson in the 2 weeks that we've seen them play. So I hope that Rivera continues to figure out ways to use him, and they started putting him in the slot a lot more. Because he did play wide receiver in college. It's crazy to think to put that kind of running back in a receiver position. But obviously I'm going to pick myself because I need to win, and I'm not picking against myself. I'm not going to roll out Goff this weekend. That's not the plan, at least. We'll see. And I do have my boy T. Higgins on Monday night. And here's the narrative. This past week, Monday night
let you down.
It let me down, but next week, Monday night is going to win me my week. I think Higgins is due.
Monday night.
Higgins is due for one of his big 35, 40 bombs. And we saw Chase and Boyd get that last week. So next week it's Higgins. He's due.
That would absolutely suck.
That's what's going to do. And hey, how about Gabe Davis, man? Gabe Davis, he's gonna put up 40 this week.
I hate playing against Jack.
I don't like playing against you either.
He's got so many guys that can drop like 35.
Yeah. I just need all of them to hit in 1 week. And it feels like I hate it for you. I swear every single year, even when my teams are complete dog shit, I will have my best week against you every single year.
So you are the Auburn to Williams, Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with myself here.
I think that I'm gonna go the safe route with William. But like William said, there's a lot of explosiveness on Jack's team that could turn the tide. But I think that the smart money is on William.
I'm going to pick William just because it's Tuesday and we still haven't had a report on Connor, and that scares me. And I think if Jack does not have Connor, he will lose. So
yeah, I'm very worried about that.
Yeah.
All right, game of the week. Longworth and Gavin. Another high council, double high or shoot.
William? You got to pick yourself, right?
Yeah, I picked myself. Yeah. Double fantasy council.
Wait, no, you're big tripping, bro. It's Gavin Terry.
Terry, don't let Terry.
Terry is finally getting.
Cut that out of the video.
My bad.
Amateur hour over here.
My bad, guys. My bad.
He's finally getting a challenge, except he's playing with Mahomes and Kelsey on bye.
That's so bad.
So dumb.
It's so stupid.
Who you gonna pick up?
I'll pick someone up.
Wait, do you have a waiver above Jack? I guess you can't.
I don't think I do, so I can't say. But I'm probably not going to waiver a quarterback. That would be a waste. But and I will. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't get concussed last week, but he still missed time. He's just in my IR spot. He's in one of my 2 IR spots for some witchcraft roster management reasons. Here, I'll put him back in for a bit, but just for the sake of we can see what it looks like. See, that's much more even now. But yeah, who do y'all think? What do you think's the play here? Who's pulling it
out? Who cares if Mahomes or Kelsey is missing time? Because I don't. And I think everybody is rooting for Gavin here. I don't think anybody wants to see Terry win besides himself, if we're being completely honest. And I feel like part of me has to kind of root for Terry just because, I mean, if Myers ends up out winning me that game last week, I'm the same exact spot as he is. And everybody hates me just as much as they hate him. So I kind of have to empathize with Terry, but I'm not going to, and I'm going to pick. I mean, I think obviously Gavin's team is much better. Yeah, I'm going to take Gavin.
I'm going to take. Sorry.
No, you go. You're halfway through your talk.
Okay. If Mark Andrews doesn't play, Lamar is going to be terrible again. But if he does play, I mean, there's no promise that he's going to be good because it's Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, on the other side, all Gavin needs is a quarterback, and then he's got solid lineup again. I'm going to go Gavin, and I kind of want Gavin to win, not because of the hate Terry slander, but more because of I can beat Terry in a points forward match, and I cannot beat Gavin in a points for. So if it comes down to it, I would rather be tied with Terry than Gavin. And so I'm going for Terry. Or frick, I'm going for Gavin.
Hey, just to clarify, I don't think anybody's like, well, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I don't think anybody's like, oh, I hate Terry, I want him to lose. They're just upset at the result of the amount of points scored and the record. It's kind of funny. And yeah, it's funny,
yeah,
but
like I think I'm the most vocal F Terry person in the league at this point. I think everyone knows it's a joke. Like,
yeah, I mean, it is.
That's just it. It's a weird kind of thing. Like, obviously, you can't help your schedule. Like,
Yeah.
Terry at 5-2 with this many points could be literally anyone in the league, and they would still
Defense
get
wins
just as much shit.
Yeah.
I think the defense wins championships thing is a little preposterous, but you gotta justify it somehow. But that said, I am still the leader of the anti-Terry union at this point, it seems like, so I do have to vote Gavin. Just constantly preying on Terry's downfall until he's 5-5. That's what's gonna happen. A regression, baby.
All right. I'll tell you what I don't like to see is David Harris versus Ramondre Stevenson. That just got so much swing in this matchup. Like whoever gets the goal line touches against the Jets is gonna make a huge difference. And if Lazard I thought might be out, which would be huge for me, because then he'd have to play Romeo. Oh wait, no, he dropped him. Rip Romeo drops.
Yeah, rip.
RIP Dubes.
But yeah, I'm really happy that I got Greg Dulcich. There's a reason I spent my number 4 waiver on him, because
That's a good choice.
he's had double-digit points as a tight end back-to-back, so that could save my ass with Kelsey out. And then good to have Jefferson back. This is even obviously I'm missing Mahomes and Kelsey, but this does feel like a really like how my team is supposed to look. It's got everybody except for the tight end and quarterback. And hey, DJ Moore finally getting what he deserves. He's getting the respect. PJ Walker's the GOAT, basically. PJ Walker is him and knows to just target DJ Moore every time.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick myself too. And now I'm going to move Amon-Ra St. Brown back into my IR. That I have to
Nice.
thanks to everyone complaining.
I did
So
just
stupid.
realize that Waddle is going up against the Detroit Lions, so I would be slightly worried that we might see one of Waddle's big boy bombs, So
If
hopefully
Detroit can keep up.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's going to be a shootout. DeAndre Swift is going to score 5 touchdowns, and Waddle's going to score 5 touchdowns. I'm just going to cry.
That would be insane.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a shootout.
And
if Amon-Ra's back.
Still.
And then you end up winning or losing 100-90 or something like that.
Yep, something stupid. All right, well, I'm going to pick myself. I hope that I get a decent quarterback, but we'll see how that goes. And I think that wraps
Did Jack
up
and Luke
the matchup.
Jack and Luke, who did y'all say?
I'd say Gavin.
Gavin.
All right, cool. All right,
Gavin
that wraps
solos.
up the matchups. We still haven't updated the standings. We've updated weeks 1, 2, 3, and 7, but we haven't done 4, 5, 6 yet. So we're gonna try to have those done. We don't know if we'll have them done ever. But of those 4 weeks, none of us still have got more correct than incorrect. So if we just picked you, that means you're probably gonna lose. I'm sorry.
Especially if Jack.
Damn.
Jack
Yeah,
was
seriously.
6 last night.
Wait, aren't I the leader?
Gavin, you and Jack are tied.
Are we tied for last?
All I'm saying is
You're
Jack
tied
went
for
4
last
for 6
overall,
last
yeah.
week. That's he's really cold right now. So
Hey, that just means I'm going 6-0 this week. Hence why I picked myself. So
And last
Yeah,
week
it's
we were
positive.
talking about like we're all so chalk, and all of us did so bad.
yeah, I know.
Makes me feel less bad for still picking chalk.
I mean, if you pick chalk, you'll probably go 3-3 every week. Honestly, it's the safe play,
Yeah.
but that's boring.
we need to go versus who Sleeper was predicting to win. We need to
Yeah,
add a column
seriously.
for that. But
Oh
Their
yeah.
projections are stupid.
Oh yeah, we could add a sleeper bot and see what they do every week. That'd be
see if
kinda
we're
cool.
Actually, better. Yeah, we should do that. But
All right. I'll add that.
All right. I mean, I don't know how much I trust Sleep, but they project 13 for Tony Pollard and 15.
And 5 for Paris Campbell, who's gotten like 20 points the last 2 weeks.
I can understand the 5 for Paris Campbell. Don't get me wrong.
I can, but
I'm not a Paris Campbell.
at least give him like 8 points or something. With no Matt Ryan, who knows? But
Please do not associate me with Paris Campbell. I do not want that on my resume.
I don't either. And they also need to boost Gabe Davis's
That's
his
cap.
projection.
That's perfect.
Hey man, his only 3 fully healthy games, he's averaged like 24 points this week or this year. So
Whatever. I'm gonna go get Waffle
All right, that'll do it.
All right.
Week 8 coming up. Solo.
That shit off my screen.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. We'll end it with the raccoon pizza. That's what we'll do.